this vehicle hasn't been available in the game to unlock since this guy was still in office. This is the P51A and M24 Thunder League variants. Thunder League was an esports event all the way back in 2015, so these vehicles are near on a decade old, and as I understand it, they have never been available since. That is until today. There's a huge event just been announced that includes access to stuff like IS7s and BI1s, as well as 15,000 euros up for grabs. So there's going to be 3 weekends of Twitch drops. The first weekend you get a camouflage for one of the new T34s. That's the one with the stabilizer. The second weekend you actually unlock the P51A. And for the third weekend you'll be able to get the M24. Hello, sorry, just editing. Let me interrupt before I tell you about the vehicles. There's also 2 decals available, and one of them is really cool. There's this sort of Grand Finals 2025 thing and a shoot here decal. I am super excited for this decal. Okay, anyway, back with the vehicles. Now, you might be wondering what's so special about these vehicles, and, well, to be honest, not a lot, other than the fact they haven't been available for a very long time. The P51A is a little bit more interesting, so I'll talk about that in a minute. So the M24 is pretty cool, and it's actually got a whole bunch of really interesting camouflages, where each camouflage corresponded to a team that was competing in that original Thunder League event. I wonder how many of those players are still playing the game 10 years later. It's basically just a regular M24. However, there is one small interesting detail that you might not have realised. If you look at the modifications screen, you'll notice that this vehicle has got access to T45 APCR. And if you look at the regular M24, you'll notice that that vehicle doesn't have access to the APCR shell. Is it very useful? Does it change how the vehicle plays? No, but it's an interesting fact. Really, the only utility that I can see from this M24 is if you're just a real fan of the Chaffee as a vehicle, and then you're able to have 2 of them in your lineup. For me, the P51 is much more of an interesting aircraft as it's much more unique. This is a prototype early war variant of the P51, and it comes with 4 Browning machine guns. If you're wondering about ground forces, it's okay, it's a decent air superiority fighter, but for CAS it only gets 1 bomb drop, and there's definitely better options at this battle rating. It allows you to play a P51 at battle rating 3.0, whereas the other lowest battle rating P51s are more like 3.7. It's a fun plane to take out occasionally, and out of the 2 vehicles, if you were only going to pick one, I'd definitely go for the P51. And while I tell you about the last cool thing about this event, I'll put some holy moly gameplay in the background where I win a 3 versus 1 with the plane. What's very nice as well with this round of Twitch drops is they're doing camouflages for the unique vehicles that you can unlock. There's a camo for the T34 that just was added to the game, as well as the P51 and the M24. Usually I quite like these esports camouflages, but with this one I can't say I'm a huge fan. And that's not it. There's also camouflages for some of your top tier vehicles that support the teams in a very similar way to the Thunder League that we were talking about just a moment ago. So the camouflages are available for $4 each. You get a title and a little bit of GE. But if you really like the designs of the camouflages in general, you can buy all of them with a 20% discount for $25. So personally, I went for this Elite Team camouflage. I don't really know who the guys are, but I think it's kind of cool to see a grey camouflage design. I think it's quite unique, a bit of a desaturated look. So that being said, are you going to be watching the Twitch drops? Are you excited for these vehicles, and will you be purchasing any of these camouflages? And don't forget, if you are, you get a small little discount using my link in the description. Alright, see ya!